Assalamualaikum students, how are you? I'm Sultan, your GK class teacher and coordinator of Stanford English Version School. Today I'll take your BGS class. So it is chapter 6 and the name of the chapter is Culture of Bangladesh. So today I'll teach you chapter 6 Culture of Bangladesh. So the name of this chapter, it tells about the topic of discussion. It gives us an idea about our culture. It gives us an idea about that what we discussed in this chapter today. So we discussed about what is our culture. So normally what we understand by the word culture, we understand that the way we take food, the dress we wear, the way we build our house, the way we talk, all things, all human behavior, the lifestyle of human consists of culture. So in this chapter, in your textbook, this culture, its elements and types, all are discussed. So let's start our today's chapter. I am just reading out from first para. Since the dawn of the civilization, man has satisfied his demand using natural environment. The first line says that when it was the primitive age, the ancient people, they do not have enough scope to fulfill their demand in the other way. They depends on the environment, they depends on trees, birds, they depends on nature to fulfill their demand. Okay, we know they were food collector, we know they were hunter, we know they were cave-living people. So these types of people totally were dependent on natural environment. So a piece of stone or branch of trees became the tool to save him from the attack of ferocious animals. Hence the ability to use nature has endured with culture which is still continuous. Man realized that the struggle for survival would be stronger if he lived in a society. So, if man lived in a society, then he can survive, he can fulfill his demand. So, various rules were created in order to organize the society. Gradually, it turned into economic, politics, religion and education, etc. For the amusement, recreation, welfare of the people of the society, man created dance, song, literature and many other things. As a result, concrete and abstract shapes of culture were composed. So, it is very clear that man, for his own demand, he invented some rules, some customs, okay, and these customs are called culture. Okay, lesson 1, concept of culture. Culture is actually the lifestyle of people. So, if anyone asks you, what is culture? Our first question is, what is culture? Then you easily can say, culture is the lifestyle of people. The way he eat, the way he wear his dress, the way he talk, the way he build his house, all these are in his culture. Okay? Picture of human life is revealed through the culture. All a man does and think to preserve his existence and to survive some purpose are his culture. So, if we observe a man of a different culture, I mean, if you observe a man which is from tribal ethnic group, then we can say, then we can understand what is his culture. Ethnic people, they have different types of clothing, they have different way of eating food, preparing their food, they have different way of cultivation. So all these are their culture, totally different from our own. Okay. In the previous or ancient time, when man eats food to live, when this food is cooked following various recipes and served with nice decoration, it becomes man's culture. When man learned to write, first he wrote carving on stone or bark or leaves of trees. So how does man write fast? So he used leaves, he used barks, he used stone, and he he wrote on this by carving. There were no ink, there were no paper, and that's why it was very difficult to write on various things. So it was the primitive style of writing. And gradually, after the invention of paper and ink, man started to write. And gradually they invent typewriter, computer. Now we use to write something computer. Okay, all of these are their culture. Culture is of two types. So, what are the types of culture? Culture is of two types. One is concrete, another is abstract. So one is concrete and the other is abstract. If the house is a concrete culture, its plan will be an abstract culture. If a book is a concrete culture, the thoughts and ideas with which the writer wrote it will be abstract culture. Computer hardware is concrete culture and software for using computer is an abstract culture. So, what is concrete culture and what is abstract culture? I am making clear about this idea. Abstract cultures are those things which we cannot see, like dreaming, like thinking. Okay, computer software, we cannot see this. So this is abstract culture. Our idea, our way, our language, which we cannot see, the planning, all these are abstract culture. So, students, what is concrete? Concrete things we can see, we can touch it. Means the mobile phone is a concrete element of our culture. But the software we use it, that is not concrete. That is abstract. Okay, the fan is moving. It is the example of concrete element of culture, but electricity by which the fan is moving, it is totally abstract. So abstract is that thing which we can feel by heart but we cannot see it visually. Okay? So what is abstract? Abstract is idea, abstract is some planning, abstract is invisible things. Okay? And concrete is visible things. Concrete we can touch it, we can hold it, we can shift it. Okay? So here in your book at page 51 there are some examples of concrete elements. Concrete elements of the culture of the country are various kinds of house, furniture, dress, transport, food, farming tools and books. Okay, abstract elements of our cultures are collective knowledge, outlook, attitude, religious belief, sense of morality, language, alphabet, arts, literature, music, ideals and values, various branches of knowledge and science. All these are abstract element of a culture. So let's read this question. I have written here some questions previously. What is culture? Culture is the lifestyle of people. How does man write first? Man wrote first using stone, using bird, using leaves. What are the types of culture? Culture are of two types. One is concrete and another is abstract. What is abstract culture? Abstract cultures are language, collective knowledge, norms and regulations, our behavior, okay, music, etc. What are the concrete culture? Concrete cultures are furnitures, dresses, transports, farming tools, etc. that we can touch, we can hold. What are the tales of agriculture? Okay. So we have covered up to these questions. Question number 5. Okay. The concrete and abstract element of our cultures are isolated from each other. So the concrete culture and abstract culture, these are totally different from each other. It is because we get the identity of abstract elements through the concrete elements. Okay? For instance, Nokshikatha is a concrete element of Bangladeshi culture. When flowers, leaves, elephants, house or any scenery is embroidered, then it becomes the manifestation or thoughts of folk omen in our country. So change in one element of Bangladeshi culture brings about change in other element. For example, shari is an element of Bangladeshi culture. Due to technological change, there have been changes in color, design of shari. Change is noticed in the fashion of wearing shari as well. Okay, then lesson 3 and 4, forms and features of Bangladeshi culture. Now we are going to discuss about the characteristics of Bangladeshi culture. As our land is fertile, so our culture is rich. People of various race who came here created cultural variety. From the primitive period, fertile land of this country has encouraged people to be farmer. People's manner, music, dance, house, every aspect of culture build up, centering around the agro-based production management, Rakhalia, Murshidi, Jari, Shari, all other songs were the tales of agriculture. So here is a question, what are the tales of agriculture? Please look at here, what are the tales of agriculture? So what are the tales of agriculture? Rakhalia, Murshidi, Jari, Shari, all other songs were the tales of agriculture. In our day-to-day life, a good deal of soil is used. It can be understood seeing the things ranging from earthen pitchers to burnt clay blade. Okay, bamboo can, wood have been used in Bangladesh for a long time. In day-to-day life, trees and water bodies have an important role in producing food and in doing work. Due to close attachment to rivers, many occupations such as boatmen, fishermen and boot-making artisans, etc. have developed in our culture. The river-based songs like Batiali, Shari spontaneously tells about the rivers and river-dependent people. So here we also get another question: which are the songs sang by boatmen? So the river-based song, Batiali, Shari, etc. are spontaneously tells about the people, those who depends on river. Okay. So next three language groups have brought their culture and language in our culture. So I have a question here. How many language groups have brought their language and culture in Bangladeshi culture? So the answer would be 3. 3 language groups have brought their language and culture in Bangladeshi culture. What are these 3 language groups? Austric, Dravid and Indo-European. These 3 language groups were Austric, Dravid and Indo-European. These 3 language groups have brought their language and cultures in our culture. Which rules were favorable for the following religions? So Buddhism, Islam and Christianity. Which rulers were favorable for the following religion? Buddhism, Islam and Christianity. It says about the ruler. During the ruling of Pala dynasty, Buddhism spreads. So Pala dynasty ruled over this country 400 years. So these 400 years were the time when Buddhism spread all through our country, not even in our country but also in this continent. And Tibet, then Myanmar, Paharpur and even Pundranagar, everywhere in our country, they established their temple, they established their bihars for spreading their religion. So Islam, the Sufi saint, during the rule of Muslim rulers, Islam spreaded all around, all over the country. So Christianity, when colonial ruler came to this country, means the people from Dutchland, from Ireland, the people of East India Company, they spread Christianity all over the country. So when you answer this question, then you have to know the rulers. You have to know about the rulers and their religion. So Pala dynasty, the ruler were Buddhist. So Muslim ruler, their religion was Islam. And English people, most of the English people, they were the followers of Christianity. So during Pala ruling, Buddhism spreads all over the country. During Muslim ruling, Islam spreads all over the country, and Christianity were spread by English ruler. Which songs are river-based songs? Previously I have answered this question. Okay? Impact of culture in individual and group life. Impact of culture means how culture creates influence upon a people. Okay, now I am going to read it. Culture has a special impact on individual and group life. Culture develops beliefs, concepts, the ideas and values of the control and controls the individual behavior. For the interest of the group life, culture makes a society strong and disciplined by teaching mutual cooperation, fellow feeling, and interdependence. Culture makes a person elegant and polite. It simplifies the development of individuals. So, culture is discipline, culture is behavior, culture is manner, culture is the way people talking. So, all things are around centering the culture. So, when people becomes the follower of a good culture, so he becomes successful. He easily can reach his goal. Okay? So when people becomes influenced by a bad culture, when he becomes disobedient, when he becomes unruly, when he becomes drug addicted, then he damaged his future. So, culture has great impact on people's life. So, if a man live in a fishing community, so probably he would be a fisherman, because fishing would be easier for that person. So, if a person live in an aristocratic society, so if he live with traders, then he would be a trader, because trading would be very easy for him. The people around him, all around him, they are traders. Okay. So education is a part of culture. So culture creates desire in a person for acquiring knowledge. By getting educated, a man ensures welfare for him and for his society. In a country, the impact of culture on individual and group life is endless. Okay? For instance, according to the cultural custom and rules of Bangladesh, an offspring respects his parents, take care of them. If he doesn't do so, the society condemns him. It is an expected culture of our country. In this way, our culture controls the individual behavior of people of this country and provides guidance. So, the people, those who are students, they take shelter in a hostel, they live in a hostel, a group of students, so he can do well in education, because all are his competitor, all are his helper, and teachers are there, so they have their own culture. Okay, so it is a culture from ancient time. If we read history, even then we can understand that the people during that time live in Mahabihar. So all the Mahabihar, there were hostel for students. So when we go to a Maktab, where Hafiz, they memorize Holy Quran, they live together. So isn't it possible to read or to memorize Holy Quran from house? Yes, it is possible, but it is more easier in a group. Okay, so it is culture which develops in a society and which helps a man to be the member of his society. It teaches him the norms and regulations. It helps him to be the perfect member of his society. Okay, so that's all for students. So all these are the questions regarding this chapter. So if you read your textbook, you will find some other questions also. But I think these questions are very important, and one of these questions, right? This two definition. What is abstract culture? What is concrete culture? These are the most important questions, because if you read these two questions, then you can answer all the other questions. Okay? So thanks a lot. Assalamu alaikum.